Morning peeps, good morning everyone, how's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Boy, oh boy, that was a beatdown, wasn't it? It was. Look, I expected Beterbiev to win. I said it in my prediction video. I said that I thought he would get a stoppage, but I also expected it to be a bit more competitive, especially in the early rounds. I expected Beterbiev to break him down like he did, but I thought Callum could maybe sort of stay with him, punch for punch, power for power, skill for skill until maybe, I don't know, sort of rounds 5 and 6, where Beterbiev usually breaks these fighters down. But Beterbiev started breaking him down from the very first round. I mean, that was good to watch. And I say good to watch from a perspective of watching a very, very elite pound for pound fighter show that there is still so much left in the tank. So much left. People maybe questioned his age, his inactivity. He said to all those people, that's what he done basically. He done that to everyone. Shut up. Honestly, if he was one of those arrogant boxers, and he's not, he could have gone around the ring and done this. That was good. You know what? Yeah, I don't want to play Monday morning quarterback. I think that's the phrase Americans use. But some of the predictions pre-fight were wild. Wild. Look, I get predictions wrong all the time. So this isn't a dig at individuals, but I mean, some of the takes were just crazy, and I couldn't understand where they'd come from. I don't understand, especially over here. Over here, I'm guessing there was a bit of the fact that you want to back your British fighters, maybe. But I mean, don't back them at the extent of maybe disrespecting Beterbiev. I mean, this is a Beterbiev who was a fantastic amateur. This is a Beterbiev, and I got it wrong yesterday. I think I said 20 fights, 20 knockouts. It is now. But at the time, 19 fights, 19 wins, 19 knockouts. And I haven't seen any slippage. So I didn't understand where the Callum Smith is going to win by knockout and Callum Smith's going to get this done in the first 5 or 6 rounds. I was like, where's this talk coming from? Honestly, didn't get it at all. Again, this isn't me trying to jump on after, because I did say this in my prediction video that I thought Beterbiev would win. I just didn't understand the wild predictions of Callum Smith stopping Beterbiev. Beterbiev is basically a bigger Canelo, a much bigger Canelo, who will force the action. And I think we saw this from the very first round. People have said things like he's not as skilled a boxer as Canelo. And I think maybe you've either not watched a Beterbiev fight properly, or maybe you're just thinking because he knocks everyone out, he's just a puncher. He's more than just a puncher. And hopefully, in watching that yesterday, you'd have seen that. Like, he sets his shots up very, very well. His jab is basically a power shot. It's a power shot. Like, I've got the CompuStat front numbers in front of me, and it's got his jab numbers and it's got his power punches. Forget that. Just combine the two, because his jab's a power punch. Honestly, his jab was a big problem all night. Then he mixes it up and he crunches you to the body. He landed a body shot on Callum Smith. I think it was round 2. And Callum Smith is as tough as old boots, because how Callum Smith didn't fold from that body shot, I have no idea. And then he mixed up to the head. So he knows you're hurt to the body. And most fighters would still, you know, okay, he's hurt to the body, I'm going to stick on that and go to the body. He's like, no, fuck that, we're going to the head. But what he did, which was so demoralizing from Callum Smith's perspective, he put it on him in the very first minute of the very first round. He's like, no, this ain't no feel out round. You're coming to the top dog, and I'm going to show you I'm the top dog. And he put it on him early, backed Callum Smith up to the corner early and started landing power shots from the get-go. How many power shots did Beterbiev land in round 1? Landed 12 of 29 power shots early. Callum Smith, first round, landed 2 of 18. That's called being a bully. That's called being a bully. That's called, okay, everyone thinks I may be on the slide. Everyone thinks I'm getting old. Obviously, I'm recovering from injury, broken jaw, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to show you that I'm still the top dog in the division. And he did that from the very first round. And you could see how this fight was going to play out from the very first minute. I'm watching it thinking, oh, Callum Smith is in trouble here. He's in trouble. He's got to land his own shots. And again, when Callum Smith did land his own shots, and he did, let's give Callum some credit here, Beterbiev ate those shots. And I did say this, and look, I'm not going to pat myself on the back because I get so much wrong here, but I did say the fights where I've seen Callum have a bit of trouble, obviously the one against Canelo, and I also mentioned John Ryder. And the reason I mentioned those two, because those two have been able to force Callum on the back foot early. John Ryder did it and Canelo obviously did it. And obviously Callum's still a good boxer. He can fight on the back foot, but Callum's best work has come when he's very offensive on the front foot. And if you can push him on the back foot, and Beterbiev did that immediately, then obviously there's a problem. And one thing Beterbiev has over John Ryder and Canelo is fucking size. He is big. He is big and strong. And he probably came into that ring, as Callum did, I'm going to say around 200 pounds. 200 pounds of no wasted muscle. There was no fat on that boy, was it? It was just built for destruction. Very, very good fighter. Honestly, just an incredible fighter. And look, I don't think he will care about where he is on the pound for pound list, but he's clearly no worse than number 8 on the pound for pound list. No worse. You can't be. 20 fights, 20 wins, 20 knockouts. I mean, I can make a case for him being higher. Unified the division, has 3 of the belts. We'll look for number 4. We'll talk about that hopefully very, very soon. Fingers crossed. He has to be on the pound for pound list. I feel like the only people that might not have him on the pound for pound list would be American boxing fans, just because he's not. The Americans he's fought haven't been like superstars, if you like, right? Marcus Brown, Joe Smith, etc. They've not been superstars. Although he's destroyed them, they weren't big names. So maybe he doesn't get the recognition for those wins. But I think us over here can appreciate what he's done to Anthony Yard, Callum Smith and the others. I think he is a sensational fighter. And obviously it leads on to this undisputed fight against Dmitry Bivol. I mean, this is Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. This is it. And the reason I say that is because it's very similar, isn't it? You've got 2 guys that are undefeated. You've got 2 guys on the pound for pound list, and you've got 2 guys that are going to go for this undisputed belt or this undisputed title. It's same scenario. Same scenario. It's exactly the same scenario. I love Dmitry Bivol, as you know. I'm Team Bivol, but fuck me, this is going to be difficult work. You know, as that fight was playing out, I was just laughing to myself at how good a fight that's going to be. Like, as soon as that first bell goes, again, very similar to Crawford Spence, you are literally going to have people split. Like, people are going to be like, I don't know, you know. I don't know. Bivol's a great fighter, you know. Bivol's a great boxer. And my only fear for Bivol, watching that fight yesterday, was, again, Beterbiev isn't just a puncher. It's not just a puncher. He's a puncher that can box. He can box. He can box. But I will go with Bivol. I'm Team Bivol all the way, because I feel like if Bivol needs to go through the gears, I know he can. I know that when Bivol stands his ground and starts throwing his hands, I know he can cause you problems. He's just a very slick boxer and likes to box, but it's an insanely good fight. How many undisputed fights have we had in this past sort of 12, 18 months? So many. So if, you know, for all the people saying boxing's dead, no, it's not. Boxing's bloody great right now. Fucking great right now. And I hope, my only hope is, I don't understand. I'm actually speaking to His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh tomorrow. And I want to ask, is this only happening within Riyadh season? I mean, are we going to see events sort of post Riyadh season, which is March, I believe? Because I don't know if it's enough. I know Beterbiev didn't really get hurt yesterday, but Beterbiev doesn't fight more than once a year. And I don't know if we're going to see Beterbiev Bivol within Riyadh season. I'd love it to be March, right? Imagine that as the co-main event for AJ Ngannou. Very unlikely, right? But imagine that. What I would really love, though, and I do think it can do big numbers, is that fight over here. I think it can do big numbers. There's a massive Eastern European community over here, massive, that I think would be interested in that fight. Remember, it's Russian versus Russian, isn't it? Both of them are, I think, right? But yeah, I'd love it to be over here. I think it would do good numbers. People might say, Addy, it wouldn't. I think it would. I think it would do, would it do the O2 Arena? And when I say do the O2 Arena, it doesn't have to sell it out, do 15,000. I think it would. I think there's a lot of interest from in that fight. I really do. But look, back to this fight. I hope Callum Smith doesn't retire. I felt like his speech at the end, I think he was speaking, it might have been to Sky Sports, was almost a case of, I've done a lot in the sport, which he has. He was ring recognized number 1 at 168 pounds. He wanted to become a 2-weight world champion. He's going to sit down with his family and discuss what's next. And I think that comes from being stopped. Like, Callum Smith has never been down before, let alone stopped. So you can understand where that kind of, okay, maybe it's time. But, he's only 33. I do think he looks good under Buddy McGirt. He just fought a machine in Beterbiev. That's the problem. He ran into a brick wall. That's it. It must be disheartening when you do think you are number one and then it plans out or plays out like that. That must be difficult to take. But I'd like him to rest. The good thing about this is that it happened at the start of the year. You can literally take 9-10 months off. You can come back in December, refreshed, re-energized. And there are big fights over here domestically. It was a beating, but it could have got worse. It could have been worse. I'm happy that that Buddy McGirt stepped up onto the apron to stop it. I think take time out. You know me, I'm normally call it quits. I'm very much get in, get rich, get out. I'm very much in it. He's made some good money in his career. World Boxing Super Series. Canelo fight would have been good money as well. This would have been decent. But I still think there are a couple of good nights in there for him. Winner of Buatsi Aziz. Anthony Yard fights out there for him as well. And if he wants to become a two-weight world champion, once Bivol and Beterbiev fight, those belts will scatter after. They will scatter and then you can start picking up belts. So I think there's a bit more left in the tank for him. I just think he ran into something a bit special. Not just a bit special, very special in Beterbiev, very special. Go and watch that fight back at how he sets his shots up, people. It isn't just, I think it's too crude or too kind of one way of looking at things to think he just marches you down. He doesn't. Doesn't just march you down. He really sets his angles, makes you fall into traps, then bang. And again, his jab is it's a power shot. It really is a power shot. To those people that maybe predicted Callum Smith would win by knockout, again, this isn't a dig at you. Obviously you're wrong, and we're wrong. Again, I hadn't seen any slippage in Beterbiev for that prediction to come. I think I mentioned Golovkin, and the reason I mentioned Golovkin because Golovkin was getting up to Beterbiev's age, and then you clearly saw slippage in the Danny Jacobs fight, the Derevyanchenko fight, and the Murata fight. And you're like, oh, Golovkin's done. But I haven't seen that in Beterbiev. So again, I don't know where those predictions come, but it is what it is. Let's have a look and see if there is anything else before we pack up. Very happy for this young man, Maxi Hughes. I think Lou DiBella promised him another fight after the Kambosos controversial, some might say, defeat. He gets that. He's got a final eliminator for the IBF against William Zepeda. Not an easy fight, but I'm happy that he's getting his American outings. That's what he always wanted, to get to America, to fight in America. And he's getting big names as well. Kambosos in America was a big fight on the scale of what Maxi Hughes has done before. And Zepeda is going to be a big fight as well. So good opportunity for him to get a big win in the States. What else have we got here? Francis Ngannou. If Joshua takes the punch that dropped Fury, he may not get up. Okay. I'm doing the face-off tomorrow, so I definitely will say to Ngannou, you said that if AJ take, basically in the face-off, it is almost a bit like you said, she said. You got to do that to kind of, get them going a little bit. It's going to be difficult because I don't think Ngannou is the trash talker and AJ is a bit chilled nowadays. So wish me fucking luck on that one. All right, anything else before we wrap up? No, I don't think so. All right, guys, girls, we are done. I was going to do a live. I might still do it, but it's going to be quite late, 8, 9. I'll put something in the community tab if we do it. We'll see. All right, peace and love.